In the north of Japan, where the mountains wear white shoulders of snow even in spring, there is a river called the Kairi Pet, the bird river, because long ago its current sang like a throat full of wings. The Ainu people who live along its banks know that every stone, every eddy, every curl of mist carries a spirit called a kami. And in the blue hour before dawn, when the world is neither sleeping nor awake, you can hear those spirits breathing. The water murmurs over smooth rock. The birch trees lean close to listen. And sometimes, only sometimes, a silver salmon leaps from the current, and the droplets that fall from its body sound exactly like laughter. Eika is 12 years old, small for her age, with hands already roughened from mending nets. She lives with her grandfather in a house that smells of dried fish and wood smoke. She is not brave in the way the village boys are brave, loud, quick to wrestle, eager to prove themselves against the forest. Eika's courage is different. It lives in her stillness. She can sit on the riverbank for an entire afternoon and notice the moment a dragonfly changes direction, or the exact place where the current splits around a buried stone. Her grandfather says she has old ears, ears that remember how to hear what most people have forgotten. He means it as praise, but the other children find her strange. Eika does not mind. The river has always been her closest friend, and friends do not need explanations. One morning, Eika kneels at the water's edge to wash her face and stops. The river is silent, not quiet, silent. The current still moves, but its voice is gone, as if someone has pressed a hand over its mouth. The birds along the bank shift nervously. The willow branches hang motionless above water that gives back no reflection. Then in the shallows, a salmon rises. It is silver, impossibly silver, as though forged from moonlight. It opens its mouth, and a single word falls out in a voice like wind through a reed flute. Listen. The fish turns upstream and is gone. The silence afterward is so deep it aches. Eika stands. She does not tell her grandfather. She does not pack a bag. She simply follows the river north, into the mountains, because something voiceless has asked for her help. The path narrows, ferns close behind her like curtains. The forest here is older, thicker, and Eika feels watched, not with menace, but with curiosity, the way a deer watches a traveler from between the trees. She passes a grove of birch where the bark has peeled into shapes that resemble faces, mouths open in frozen song. A fox sits on a stone and regards her with one amber eye. It flicks its tail upstream, and she follows. The higher she climbs, the more the land feels wrong. Moss grows dry and pale on the rocks. A waterfall she remembers from childhood has thinned to a trickle, its basin cracked and exposed. She finds a dead kingfisher on the path, its blue feathers still bright. And she kneels to bury it in soft earth, pressing the ground smooth with both palms. When she rises, a faint glow hovers where the bird lay, a tiny kami. No larger than a firefly, drifting upward into the canopy. It pulses once, as if to say thank you asterisk, and vanishes. Eika understands now. The spirits are not gone. They are trapped. They are waiting. She finds the dam near the river's source, a crude wall of timber and stone built across a narrow gorge. Behind it, the water has pooled into a dark, still lake that smells of stagnation. The travelers who built it are already gone, moved on to some other valley, never knowing what they silenced. Eika wades into the cold water. She pulls at the logs with her net mender's hands, one by one, and the wood resists. And her fingers bleed, and still she pulls. She does not pray for strength. She simply listens, to the water pressing against the dam, to the groaning wood. to the deep hum beneath the earth that says asterisk almost, almost. The last log gives way. The river exhales. Water floods through the gap in a tremendous silver rush. And within it she sees them, hundreds of luminous fish. Salmon and trout and species she cannot name, pouring downstream like living light. Rain begins to fall from a cloudless sky. The kami of the river rises from the current, vast and shimmering. And it looks at her with eyes like deep pools and says nothing at all. Because some gratitude is too large for words. By the time Aika walks home, the river is singing again. Her grandfather meets her at the door, tilts his head, and smiles as though he already knows. The village children stand on the bank, amazed, watching silver fish leap in the restored current. Aika sits in her usual place, by the water. She presses her palm against the wet stone and feels the hum of something ancient and alive. She did not slay a monster. She did not cross an ocean. She only listened when the world asked to be heard. And sometimes, even now, if you sit very still beside a river at dawn, you can hear it singing, and you will know that someone, somewhere, remembered to care.